Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I'm not going to lie to you, I'm at least 3/4 dead, maybe 1/4 alive right now. I am exhausted. I'm operating on just full amounts of caffeine. We went away for the half term and we got back at 4 AM on Monday, which thank goodness was an inset day for us. So we had a bit of a rest day on Monday, a bit of one. Obviously there was a lot to be done. And then my plan was children were back to school on Tuesday and Tuesday was going to be a rest day for me. I was going to get the 46 loads of washing done that we have accumulated on holiday, and I was going to rest so that today on Wednesday I could be back in the game with a full serving, a full portion helping of gumption and energy. But that's not what happened, of course. My husband has gone immediately away with work, and then my daughter was off school sick yesterday, so I didn't get anything done and I definitely didn't get any rest. And then Diggy, the little devil, for some reason last night, I think because he's been in the kennels, decided to start howling at the top of his voice like he was possessed, like 3 times during the night. So I haven't slept, I haven't done any of my loads of washing, and I may fall asleep / cry at any moment. So my fresh, bubbly, healthy, energetic video that I had planned for today is probably going to look slightly different to what I had planned. But do you know what I thought will kill 2 birds with 1 stone? I'll do some unpacking. I'll do some unpacking with my makeup bag that I took on my holidays with me. And I'll share with you guys what I took, why I took it, what I used, what I didn't, how it did, how I liked it, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start off with the annoying bit, which is this makeup case. This is from Laura Mercier and it was gifted to me with PR. I can't remember what came in this, but it contained products. I think it was just a selection of Laura Mercier products that was a PR package, and it is the greatest makeup bag for me for holiday. It is just perfect. I always take this whether I'm going away for a weekend or a 2-week holiday. This is what I take. It's just the perfect size. I love to travel very lightly when it comes to makeup and skincare whenever I travel, whether it's for a few days or it's a long holiday. I'd like to take the smallest amount possible, and this is just the perfect amount for me. It also has a hard back on both sides, so everything in there is as safe as it can be, because I always put this in my checked suitcase as opposed to my hand luggage. I don't want to be counting mils. I don't want to have to get everything into a plastic bag to go through security. I just want this going in my suitcase, and therefore the choices I make for what goes in here, you will see, are maybe different to what you would expect. I don't necessarily choose my absolute favorite makeup to travel with. I choose products that I know will travel well, that will be the sort of makeup I want to do while I'm away, that won't break, that you could drop and throw about, as I'm sure the suitcase will be, and it will be fine and in one piece. And I also don't take anything that can't be replaced. Anything limited edition, absolutely never. So you will find a lot more cream products in my holiday makeup bag than you would typically expect to see me use on a day-to-day basis, because you know I'm not a cream girly as much as I'd love to identify as one. It's just not in the cards for me, but on holiday I do become one because they don't smash like powders. I'm going to try and hold this up without everything falling out. This is what it looks like on the inside. She's full to the brim, but it does close, and that's all we expect from her. So I'm not going in any particular order, I'm just going in whatever my hand grabs for first. First up, we have the new ginagerous, if you will, whooper size of my Charlotte Tilbury UV Voile primer. Exactly. If you have ever watched one of these videos from me before, this will have been in it. I never go anywhere without it. I use this a lot at home. I love to mix this with the tanning drops from Charlotte Tilbury at home. On holiday, this is the only primer I use. I don't use this for SPF. Nothing, there's no skincare in this box in this video. What is happening? In here is just makeup. So my evening makeup, I never wear makeup during the day when I'm on holiday. I just can't be bothered. I'm literally in the pool all hours of the day with my children. That's all we do. We play mermaids, we play animal charades. I posted a video of that on my Instagram. I'm probably the world's greatest talent at animal charades, and I won't hear any different. Okay, you may see me on BGT next year. But I digress. I love this product, especially on holiday. I love it at home as well, but on holiday it's just perfect because it has SPF 50 in it. It's quite glowy, it's hydrating, and it just means that if I go out for dinner, the sun's still up, the sun is still potently strong. The UV was 11 every day while we were on holiday. And so, you know, going out for dinner, going out in the evening for drinks, sitting outside on the terrace, I still want a lot of SPF. So this is just the perfect product. I love it. I'm so happy we now have a huge whooper size of it. Can't go wrong. I take it every year. Now for foundation, again, I've been traveling with these Tom Ford foundation sticks. Every time I go away, every time I go on holiday, these are the foundation I take because again, they're small, concise, little, easy, packable size. It's very quick and easy on the go, little touch-ups. And because I kind of need to take 2 shades of foundation when I go on holiday, because I start off like this color and I come back this color, so I need at least a couple of shades of foundation. So taking 2 glass bottles of foundation and then having to, you know, pump and mix things together when we're in the middle is a little less convenient. Whereas with the sticks, I can start off with 1 shade and then I can just add a bit on both cheeks of the 2 shades and then swap over, and this just makes it really packable. Now, I think these are discontinued, aren't they? Are they reformulating them? I don't know. But I've had these for a long time. I did almost take my Dior stick foundations instead, but I don't have a summer shade of the Dior stick foundation, and these are certainly well expired if we're going by the actual date, which I never am. So I thought, let's take these, give them a last hurrah. They did not let me down. They're a gorgeous, beautiful, buildable level of coverage, a really gorgeous glowy finish. I do prefer the Dior. I think the Dior is a little more flawless, a little smoother on the skin to the Tom Ford, but like I said, I just wanted to get a bit more use out of these. So I do prefer the Dior stick, and no doubt next time we go on holiday, I'll probably take those because they're also smaller, a bit more streamlined, so even better. I took 2 brow products, which is unlike me. Typically I would just take 1, but I really wanted to take my Benefit brow pen. I've been loving this recently because I found the perfect shade for me, which is 4.5. I've had issues with this pen because of finding the right shade. I think I started off with 5, whatever the deepest shade is, and it was just a bit blocky. And then I tried a lighter shade, which was too smudgy because it was just too light and I was having to use too much to get the look I like. Now with shade 4.5, I'm loving it. But ridiculously, it doesn't have a spoolie on the end. I don't know how that got past the design team. I don't know what we were thinking. A brow product with no spoolie, how dare you? So I had to take my Precisely My Brow Detailer literally just for the spoolie. What a joke. Not really much more to say about that. I needed a brow pencil. I don't take brow gel because I feel like using brow gel, you have to then I have to like carve it out, and I just need to make everything precise. So I don't use a brow gel, I just fluff my brows a little, put them in place where I want them, and then just fill them in with pencil and do a little more natural brow than I prefer at home. So no brow gel, 1 less thing to take, to be honest. Then I took my Dior stick bronzer. I loved this on holiday. I was umming and ahhing between the new Chanel cream bronzer and the Dior, but the Dior is just much smaller to fit in here, so that's why I chose to go with this stick bronzer. I used this literally every single night to do my makeup for dinner, and I loved it. I was using it on eyes and cheeks. It just melts in so beautifully. It's so quick and easy, and again, can't smash, can't shatter with it being a cream, and takes up very little room. Perfect. Now, I did pop in this mini travel size of my Givenchy Prisma Libre loose powder, which I didn't use the entire time I was away because I forgot to pack a concealer. Whoops. So I usually would take my Tom Ford stick concealer because again, it's really small, really precise, easy to pop in a handbag and do touch-ups, and it's performs quite nicely without setting with powder. But then I purchased this travel size powder so I could set with powder, and then forgot to put in the concealer, which was fine. I just used the Tom Ford stick under my eyes. Could I have done with a bit more coverage under there? Yes, but I didn't have any, so we just had to deal with it. So I flatly refuse to take an eyeshadow palette pretty much whenever I travel. If I'm traveling in the UK and I'm, you know, just having my like travel bag, fine, but putting an eyeshadow palette in a suitcase and expecting that to arrive and not to have exploded, I feel is high risk. So when I'm traveling abroad, I always use liquid eyeshadows. I took 5, okay?
I took 9. Yeah, I did, I think, slightly overcommit.
And I think I used all of them. Maybe like one a night. I used the Armani, this is shade number 22, and it's one of their matte shadows. So I use this sometimes as a base, sometimes just on its own as, you know, just a bit of a wash of like bronzer in the crease type of situation, but in liquid form. Loved that. And then the rest of these are Lisa Eldridge. So I took one of the matte, the silk shadows, which was Thalia. Again, just a wash of something on the lid, and sometimes I'd add a bit of one of the shimmer over the top. So I took 3 of the shimmers, Bianca, Anjelica and Cressida. Should I swatch these? Why not? Bianca is a sort of pinkier, like lilac shimmer. Then we have Cressida, which is a sort of champagne, quite light, bright shade. And then we have Anjelica, which is a sort of light, almost coppery shade. Should we say taupey shade there? Then we have Thalia, which is the Lisa Eldridge matte, and then 22, which is the Armani shade. You can see how that is just like your perfect bit of almost bronzer in the crease. There they all are, nice and close up for you. They just did everything I wanted them to do. I love that I can kind of mix and match them. I can use a bit of the matte, I can use a bit of the shimmer. I used a bit of my Dior bronzer in the crease some days, and nothing is going to break, nothing's going to make a mess. They're perfect, and they're so small. I've got so many options, and they just fit beautifully into that makeup case. They're such a great option for travel. One mascara, of course, I took a travel size of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury mascara. It just never lets me down. It never smudges, it never flakes. It's not going to leave, you know, a panda eye situation, even if I'm getting a bit hot. It's just one, it's the only one I need at any point. I'm just now realizing what a ridiculous number of lip products I took. So I only took one highlighter, but I feel like that will make a bit more sense in a moment because the other products are also glowy. So I took one highlighter, which was the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Spotlight Beauty Light Wand. I love these again for travel. I quite often will take one of the blushes as well, but I didn't because I made a different choice this year. But usually I do take these Beauty Light ones as either blush or highlight because again, they're gorgeous. They work beautifully with the other creams that I'm going to use. They can't smash. And again, traveling with a powder highlighter, no thank you. That's never going to make it there and back in one piece. So I just love this. It blends in beautifully with the blushes, with the cream bronzer, and it's just a gorgeous glowy highlighter, very easy to use. Again, very streamlined, slimline packaging, keeping everything nice and small and condensed. And now for blushes. So this is where it gets really crazy because, like I said, cream blush and me, typically not that good of a friends, but that's all I take when I travel because I don't want any of my precious powder blushes to smash into smithereens. So first of all, a risky little number. I took my new Dior stick blush. This was brand new. I had swatched it but not used it on my cheeks at all when I took this on holiday. So that was high risk because I could have hated it, but I didn't. I flipping love it. This is in the shade Candy. Oh, this is just perfect for holiday. I love the packaging. It's so easy to use. And look at that shade for holiday, and so glowy. Hence why I said I didn't really need a highlighter at all. A lot of the time I just used this. This was definitely my most used blush while I was away. I just loved it so much. It's so pretty. It's so glowy. The perfect, like peachy shade, like gorgeous, like golden hour effect. Beautiful. I fell in love with this while I was away. It went gorgeously on top of everything else. No issues, perfect amount of pigment, blends out seamlessly. Gorgeous, glowy, sun-kissed goddess cheeks. There's a nice little close-up. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Just the perfect holiday cheek product. I then took 2 of the Hourglass liquid blushes. You guys know I love these. These are a fairly rare exception to my liquid phobia. I love these. I took 2 shades, Future and Moment. I used both of these. I also mixed these together, which is something again that I love about these blushes, is they're so easy to dab a couple of drops of a couple on your back of your hand and you've got another new shade there. Really, really pretty, really easy to use, and again, super glowy, so not really necessary to do highlighter as well. So Moment is the peachier number, and then Future is a bit more of a coral, and then you have that Dior stick in the middle. What a trio, what a dream team. You know, again, these Hourglass blushes, gorgeous glowy finish, so you don't necessarily need to do highlighter as well, and such a perfect travel size product. So you can see how I was able to pack so lightly while still having choices, because so many of these products are just so beautifully diddy to travel with. It's just ideal. So then for lip products, I can already see looking at these, there are too many. Okay, I definitely didn't need this many. I took 2 of the new Dior lip balms. I love these so much. I feel like I have an unpopular opinion because I really like them. You know, the packaging is really cute and fun. Do I think they're like wildly crazy, like nothing we've ever seen before? I don't, but I do like them, and they were just perfect on holiday. I had 2 shades, the Toffee shade and the Lychee shade, so 2 very different shades. One, you know, perfect everyday nude, and then one a bit more of a bright, fun holiday color. I love them. I find them really pretty, nice, shiny. Are they like super hydrating? Not really, but perfect like holiday lip product. Just a bit of glow, bit of shine, nice amount of pigment on the lips. I then took 2 Tom Ford lippies, again a really nice condensed size. So one is one of the new balms, which is Escapist, and lovely, gorgeous, bright coral. I love these. Really nice, light, thin formula, but pack a punch as far as the pigment. And then one of the standard lipsticks, which is Il Nue. So again, a bit more of a sort of warm nude shade, depending on, you know, what I was doing with the rest of my makeup. Kind of ticked all of the boxes. I then had one of my Chanel Duo Tenues because, you know, most of the time we were going out for dinner, so I did want to have a lipstick option that was going to survive a dinner without me having to worry about reapplying. So this is the shade Coral Pink. I felt like this was just perfect for travel, perfect for holiday, really nice wearable coral shade that was going to make it through a meal. And then I took 1 shade of my Dior lip oil, which is the cherry shade. It's literally, I mean, obviously perfect. I think this is what I wore on the plane as well. I didn't really wear makeup on the way back because I knew I was getting home at a ridiculous hour, but on the way there I think I had a minimal amount, maybe just some primer and then like mascara, maybe brows, and the lip oil. It's just perfect for holiday, lightweight, bit of something, really nice and comfortable and hydrating. So that is my lip selection. Let's have a little cheeky close-up of everything. These are those Dior new lip balms, which I'm really enjoying more than most people, it seems. Then we have the Tom Fords, the Chanel, and the Dior lip oil. So I feel like I probably didn't need as many lip products as that, but I know some of you will be telling me you take 25 lip products, so I did quite well compared to some of you. Now, the only other product I took this year that didn't go in here, that didn't fit in here, was my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I have a mini travel size and I had to put that in my skincare bag because it just didn't fit in here. Usually it does, so I think I might have gone a bit silly with some of the stuff as opposed to usual, because it usually does fit in there, but I didn't use it a single time this year. I think just because we were staying in a hotel, so for dinner, most of the time, we weren't out that long that I needed a setting spray. We were inside in the air conditioning the majority of the time for dinner. So whenever I was wearing makeup, it really only needed to last for like 5 hours. So I didn't really feel the need for setting spray, so I never used it. As far as brushes slash tools, this is the set that I used. Yes, it does need washing. I told you, I haven't even opened this since I got home. But this is the Sonia G Travel set, and it is absolutely ideal. I didn't feel like I needed anything else. It does everything I need it to do. I use the big buffing brush for foundation, for bronzer, sometimes for blush as well. I use this little, the like white bristle brush for blush. I also could use this for highlighter sometimes, and then these 3 brushes for eyeshadow, everything that I need, whether I'm doing like just a bit of bronzing in the crease with the larger one, or I can really sculpt out a bit more with the more crease sized brush. And then you've got a pencil brush, which I don't think I even used the pencil brush. So these 4 brushes literally did everything I needed them to do for the whole holiday. So there you have it. That is everything makeup wise that I took with me for a week away with my family, dinner and drinks and entertainment every night. That is the makeup that I relied on. I didn't really feel like I was missing anything other than I would have liked to have had the concealer, but I didn't really feel like I hated my makeup without it. It was fine. I would have loved to have remembered one, but I was absolutely fine. I think I could have cut down on the lip products, and maybe I would have liked to have had a bit more of an option as far as my cheek products. I feel like I got a little bit bored of doing the same like blush every night pretty much, but I also didn't want to stop using this Dior stick because I was loving it so much. But I maybe would have liked a few more colours perhaps of my blush, but I really didn't feel like I was missing anything as far as the products I had. I didn't need anything else. I was completely fine. It was more than enough. So I think I'm doing pretty well. I know a lot of you are always shocked at how little makeup I take when I travel, but I feel like it was plenty for me. What do you guys think? Do you take more than me? Do you take less? Do you take no makeup? Do you shop for makeup while you're away? Please let me know what you do, how much makeup you take away with you, and some of your absolute favorites for travel. Give us all of your tips in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.